Let's talk about something that's at the absolute core of every single business. Doesn't matter if it's a tiny startup or a huge corporation, and that's keeping track of your money. You know, when you get it right, you're in control. But when you get it wrong, well, you're pretty much flying blind. So today, we're going to look at what it really takes to go from that financial chaos to having real digital control.
So let me ask you this. Is all that manual paperwork really just costing you the price of paper? It's so easy to just see those stacks of files as a normal part of doing business. But the real costs, the hidden costs, that's where it really gets you. We're talking about wasted hours, simple human errors that snowball, and just slow, sluggish decision-making. That's why having a proper system isn't some luxury. It is the bedrock of a healthy, growing business.
And when you look at the numbers, the difference is just staggering. We're not talking about small improvements here. A task that used to eat up 20 minutes of someone's day, now it's done in 2. An error rate that could creep up to 10% is now, well, it's pretty much gone. And the cost for every single transaction just plummets. This is way more than just being efficient. This is about getting back your time, your money, and your accuracy. 3 things every business needs to survive.
All right, so we've established the problem, right? Manual methods are slow, they're risky. So what's the answer? It's all about bringing order to that chaos. And this is exactly where a dedicated digital system becomes an absolute game changer. Is really the modern answer for any company that's serious about having real control.
The system we're looking at here is called ORSYS ARY. And yeah, at its heart, it's an online receipt system. But honestly, it's so much more than that. Think of it as a complete ecosystem for your finances. It takes care of the whole journey of a transaction, from the second a voucher's created to tracking the payment, all the way to giving you real-time data and even a way for the public to verify things.
So how does a system like this actually deliver on that big promise? How do you really take something that's a 20-minute headache and shrink it down to just 2 minutes? Well, it all comes down to having a process that's not just faster, but smarter.
Okay, it all boils down to just 3 super simple steps. First, you pop in the basic details, who's paying and what for. Then, instead of breaking out a calculator, you just enter the cash denominations, and the system does all the math for you, which is great for avoiding those little errors. And finally, you get a live preview to make sure everything looks perfect, and you hit submit. That's it. This is how you build a rock-solid financial record, one quick, accurate entry at a time.
And the second you hit submit, boom, this happens. A completely unique, secure transaction number is instantly generated. That record is logged, it's timestamped, and it's secure. No more worrying about lost slips of paper or trying to figure out a questionable entry. Every single transaction now has its own digital fingerprint, creating a perfect audit trail from the moment it happens.
Okay, so collecting data fast and accurately is one thing, and it's a huge step. But the real magic, the real game changer is what you can do with all that data. This is where you go from just tracking things to actually gaining powerful business intelligence.
Imagine you're the manager for a second. You glance at this chart and you have an instant health check of your entire operation. You can see 85% of vouchers are done. Great, but what's up with that 10% pending, or that 5% that failed? This isn't just a pretty picture, it's a call to action. It lets you spot and solve problems before they become big headaches.
And it's the same stories here. You can see instantly where the money is really going. Is marketing on budget? Are office supply costs creeping up a little bit? This is what we mean by data-driven decisions. You stop guessing where your money's going and you start seeing it crystal clear. It empowers you to put your resources where they matter most.
And maybe the best part is the level of control you get. You can filter all these insights by any date range you can think of. Want to see how this week compares to last week? Or maybe analyze spending for the whole last quarter? The power to zoom out for the big picture or zoom right in on the tiny details is literally at your fingertips. All right, so we've got speed and we've got insights, but there's another piece to this puzzle that you just can't ignore, and it's the foundation of any solid business: security and trust. A proper system has to protect your operations from the inside, and just as important, it has to build confidence with your customers and your partners on the outside.
This is such a brilliant feature for building that external trust. Anyone, a client, an auditor, whoever, can take a receipt number, pop it into a public website, and instantly check if it's real. This kind of transparency just wipes out potential disputes and proves that your records are legit. It basically says, hey, we stand by our numbers and we've got nothing to hide. So while that feature builds trust on the outside, the system also gives you total command on the inside. You get to decide exactly who can access what. You can customize everything to fit your company, and every single click, every action is tracked in an audit log, so there's always accountability. This isn't just a piece of software. It's a full framework for good governance, making sure your finances are secure from the inside out. You know, when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. Making that switch from piles of paper to a smart digital system is a massive shift in thinking. You stop guessing about how your business is doing, and you start knowing. You finally get the clarity and the confidence you need to make better, faster decisions. So, I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. When you look at your own company, right now, can you say with 100% certainty that you truly know its financial health in real time? If there's even a little bit of doubt in your mind, it might be time to think about moving from chaos to control.